Business comm students, welcome back. I am trying to get a video off. I'm having difficulty recording a video for some reason today. It keeps booting me off, but I'm going to try and get this done, right? I'm not sure why it keeps doing that. Okay, so this week, week 6, we are looking at, I'm going to keep scrolling back and forth to see why it keeps shutting off. Okay, we're still going, good. All right, in week 6, we're going to look at chapters 11 and 12. Chapter 11 and 12 start to talk about some items relating to business etiquette, right? And give you a little bit of a background into some of the common pitfalls, but also some of the common strategies that are used. See if I can get to 11 here. Common strategies are used in professionalism at work and in the workplace. Let me just double check that this is still recording. I had trouble all morning. I'm not sure why. It's doing better now all of a sudden. Not sure why. And so chapters 11 and 12. 11 is professionalism, how to behave at work, from whether it's, using your smartphones at business, teamwork, etiquette at the office, etiquette online, all of those different items. And so so that's chapter 11, how to behave in meetings and telephone skills, all of those different items. Now, I am double checking. For some reason, my camera has been off today, so I'm going back and forth. So I apologize if it seems a little disjointed. Okay, we're still going. Good. Now, a couple things from this week. So that is chapter 11, and then we jump into chapter 12, which really starts to talk about business presentations and a little bit relating to how you might, working with different templates, how you use images and PowerPoint bullets, contemporary visual aids, different items like that, talking about how you can have the best presentations at work, right? Reports, podcasts, webinars, all of those different things that we work with. So it gives you a little background on those. So 11 and 12, and then there are a few homework questions there from 11 and 12, which is really the bulk of the material from the text this week. However, there are 2 important components that I want you to be thinking about. The first one is this mock interview project. And the mock interview project, for some reason, every time I pull it up, it boots me off. So I'm going to try and pull it up a different way. Let's see if I can do this, right? The mock interview project really comes about with us. Scroll through. Every time I open it when I'm on this video chat, it doesn't like it. It gets mad at me. So I'm going to open it separate from my desktop. Okay. You're going to have to think about the job that you like. And I've already discussed this a little bit, or you would like to have someday, right? And so next you're going to pretend that you're the recruiter interviewing potential candidates for this job. So a couple different components to this project. Explain the industry and the type of company where you would like to get a job. So if you're interested in insurance and you want to be, maybe you already know the company you want to work for, or maybe you not sure of the company, but you're sure of the industry. I'm going to pull this up. Keeps jumping around. There we go. That's okay. So if you want to work for the insurance industry, you could just say, this is the industry I'm interested in, and this is the type of job I would like to get. The next component is give the job title, if you know the job title, and a brief description of the job. And so if you want to be, you want to be in marketing, you want to be VP of marketing for an insurance company, what does that entail? So you're going to have to do a little research if you don't already know the type, the description of the job that you would like to have. And so third, then you're going to think about this job, the job description, the industry. You're going to come up with a minimum 6 interview questions that really, if you were the recruiter, how would you be recruiting for this job? And so you can have more than 6, but you're going to come up with 6 basic questions that you think will get at the skill set of candidates and find the best candidate for the job. And fourth, you're going to then explain in 2 to 3 sentences how your questions will identify the right candidate. So how do those questions come together to identify the right candidate? And you're going to use that component then later for a discussion in week 8 as well. So you can use various things. You can use videos off the internet. You can talk to recruiters and see what kind of questions they ask. You can use the text, right? But really, it's chapters 13 and 14. So you have the mock interview project. The other project is your resume, writing a resume. And I do have that in week 6. I say, start thinking about your current resume. If you don't have a current resume, start pulling one together, right? You can either use a template on your computer, you can use a template online. I do have a couple videos up here helping you get a resume together. So really what I'm looking for is this week and next week to start thinking about your interview questions and getting some of those put together, this job you would like to have, and then questions that relate to it, and then also getting your resume together. Because if you can get those to me during this week or next week, I can get them back to you with comments, because those will be due week 8 as final projects. And so really the goal is to get you set up for, okay, here's the job I'd like to have. These are the type of questions that a recruiter should ask to find the best candidate. And so you'll kind of, by working backwards, know what's going to be asked you, and you'll do great in an interview. The other thing is, I'd like to help you polish your resume up so that when you are ready to move either further up in your career or maybe change careers, you will have a resume that someone else has looked at and reviewed a bit and given you some comments back. So 2 things that you're going to be working on. So for this class, for your projects, this idea of this mock interview, like you were a recruiter coming up with questions for an interview for the job that you would like to have someday. And also getting your resume to me. And there is a level of confidentiality there. I'm the only one that's going to see the resume and make any changes that I feel like will help polish it up. Send it back to you. You can make those changes and send them back to me. So that in the next 2 weeks, 6 and 7, that's really what you're going to want to do. And then I will get it back to you. You're going to send me your final project in week 8 for both of those items. Now, I did post, they both have chapters in the text that they relate to. Both of those are unfortunately in week 7, 13, and 14. However, I do have videos, a video in week 6 that goes along with the interviewing, and 2 videos in week 7 that go along with resume writing. So if you are thinking about kind of working ahead and having these underlying projects going on, perfect time to do that because we only have a couple weeks left. You can watch the video on interviewing and coming up with interview questions, start working on your interview project. You can watch the videos on writing resumes and formatting resumes from week 7 because that's available to you now. I made it visible. And start working on your resume and get your current resume, kind of even the rough draft done. And then both of those items sent over to me this week or next so I can kind of chime in and get it back to you before you send me your final. And so 13 and 14 from the text. There are homework questions from both 11 and 12, which are due next week, and then 13 and 14, which are due the following week. So those are all available to you as well to give you some, and then the final discussion. We only will have 3 discussions, not 4 this term. Will be due by the end of the term, which is 10/17. And really that is, you're going to reflect on your collection of interview questions from that mock interview that I have you do. And you're going to use a couple sentences to kind of reflect on why you chose the questions you did and how you think they'll get at the best candidate for the job that you're interested in. So that will be a discussion post for you in week 8. And you also will have a final exam in week 8. So week 8 won't necessarily be any new material, but you'll be working on your final project drafts, right, for both the interview item and mock interview project and also your resume building project. You will be having a discussion in that week as well, and you will also have your final exam. So that is week 8 of the class. Week 7 is chapters 13 and 14. And this week, week 6, 11, and 12. So if you have questions for me, as always, reach out 814-490-6473 or crobertson@ec3pa.org. I apologize for my voice being a little hoarse. It's been, I don't know if I'm getting sick or what's happening, right? But I'm here if you need me. I can Zoom with you. I won't be on campus much this week because I have been not feeling well, but I am available here in my home office. So if you need me, reach out to me. We can pick a time to Zoom. And we're almost through the semester, so hopefully you're doing well. You feel like you're on top of things. You guys did great on your midterms. And I will send you a video later in the week kind of outlining again these 2 projects that are due and kind of talking to you about the rest of the semester and keeping you on your toes, right? Have a great rest of the afternoon, and I will talk with you soon.